and welcome to the 2022 Kent Davis Speaking Competition. Just worth a round of applause. This is the beginning of graduation in a way. These seniors are going to open the threshold towards ringing the bell. Big shout out to the folks online who are connecting with us right now. A request to everyone here, could you take a moment please and turn off your cell phone and securely put it away so it doesn't fall. Okay, now on to the serious part. This is a very time-honored Suffield Academy tradition. The annual Kent Davis Speaking Competition showcases excellent oratory skills among the senior class. Today, 9 seniors will deliver 2 speeches in 2 categories. One category is the Emmett Kent Public Speaking Prize, which will be awarded to the senior who demonstrates the best speech writing skills. The other category is the Charles G. Davis Oratory Prize, in which seniors adapt a published speech. In this category, the students will be judged on their oratory skills and a keen awareness of their subject in relation to today's audience. On behalf of Mr. Dugan and Ms. Lloyd, I want to convey our appreciation for these senior Kent Davis speakers. During this busy trimester, they all found the time and invested excellent effort into working on these speeches. They all deserve awards for their hard work. Collectively, this dedicated group created a really dynamic body of work that we'll proudly install in Suffield Academy's archives. Again, welcome to this year's Kent Davis Speaking Competition.
Today, I want to talk about one of the most serious challenges our country faces, one that writes people off in just that way, affecting rich and poor, old and young, those who work and those who can't, a problem that can strike anyone. I am talking, of course, about the challenge of mental health. Now, you would think a widespread and important challenge like this would be something we would all talk about, that we would be falling over each other to prove that we had a solution, but that doesn't happen. Mental health is a subject we all, whoever we are, still instinctively avoid. At home and in our communities, it tends to be brushed under the carpet. Teachers and our parents are unlikely to talk to us about mental illness when we are young, and we all fear the unknown. Today, far too many people still feel as if they have to pretend that they have something else wrong with them when they are struggling with depression. People can be scared, intimidated by the culture that still surrounds mental illness, scared into silence. For people to talk about it and get help, there needs to be a common language and understanding. If it is not recognized, it is as if it does not exist. As I speak here today, 1 in 4 of us will have a mental illness at some point in our lifetime. And that really means that mental illness affects everyone in some way. If it is not you yourself who is struggling, it is your mom or dad, son or daughter, nephew or niece, friend or loved one. I don't come today with all solutions, but a clear direction of travel. Good mental health doesn't start in hospitals or treatment rooms. It starts in our communities, our workplaces, and our schools. We need to give students the emotional and psychological resilience that they need. We need to help students face the challenges of the 21st century, but schools dismiss these concerns as peripheral. It is a short-sighted, old-fashioned way of running education. It is as simple as that. We will need to ask searching questions about the way our schools work and relate to their wider communities. We will need to learn from the best. I am proud to live in a time where the taboo has been challenged by some, to live in a time when some people are beginning to speak out. But I know that not enough has yet been done. We can help change the culture. We can insist that everyone counts, that everyone matters, and that no one dealing with any form of illness should ever feel ashamed. That's how you bring real change. Thank you.
So I paused and I said, I know you're out there. I can hear your hearts beating. Who here has ever failed? And I demanded an answer, and a few people raised their hand. Who here has ever failed? Now they all started complying. So I said, great. When you failed, why did you fail? They said all the same things you said. Didn't have enough time. Didn't have the right technology. Didn't have the money. Didn't have the contacts. You know, had the wrong people. The people said we had the wrong leader, right? And then this voice in the darkness, the whole room is pitch black, says, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices. And I look down, and it's Vice President Al Gore. If you don't know much about American politics, he and Bush Jr., they tied, basically. It had to go to the Supreme Court to decide who was going to be it, and he lost. And when he said that we were in Northern California, which is all Democrats that would have been supporters of his, they all stood up and gave him a standing ovation when he said this. So when the standing ovation was done, I said, that's one way to try to explain why you didn't become President of the United States. But I wouldn't say it's an accurate one. Then there was this pause, like, what the hell is he about to say? And I said, because let's just do this logically. Everything you people have told me, I didn't have the technology. I didn't have the contacts. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money. Everything you've told me, I didn't have enough Supreme Court justices. Those are resources. And so you're telling me I failed because I didn't have the resources? And I'm here to tell you what you already know. Resources are never the problem. It's a lack of resourcefulness is why you failed. Because the ultimate resources are emotional states, creativity, decisiveness, passion, honesty, sincerity, and love. These are the ultimate human resources. And when you engage these resources, you can get any other resource on earth. Resourcefulness is the ultimate resource. And if you don't have what you want, stop telling yourself a story because you don't have the money, you don't have the time. That's BS. It's because you haven't committed yourself to where you would burn your boats. If you want to take the freaking island, burn your damn boats, and you will take the island. Because people, when they're either going to die or succeed, tend to succeed. Thank you.
A question I catch myself asking often is, who am I? Well, 5 years ago, my answer would be crystal clear. I was a gymnast training for my first season of Level 8 at Daggett Gymnastics. As much as I claimed I hated the grueling sport, I loved almost every second of it. It kept me level-headed and driven. Sprinting down the vault runway, hurtling towards the hand mat, jumping off the springboard blindly, and blocking off the vault table into a flip was what I craved every single day. I did not, however, crave climbing 10 ropes as a punishment for chatting with my friends or splitting the beam. I knew I had potential, and my family and coaches saw a bright future for myself. This passion soon began to dissipate when the sport became more and more challenging. I would have panic attacks from the thought of stepping foot onto a beam because I was afraid of the damage from crashing. Countless times, I'd ask myself, is this all really worth it? I told myself, don't give up. You only have a few years left. But my dreams of D1 were a shot in the dark. For one, my level of skill did not compare to the girls that went to college for gymnastics. Yes, I was good, but I had to be honest with myself. Secondly, I wanted to preserve my mental and physical health rather than impress those around me. But that meant leaving everything I'd ever known behind. I was afraid of losing my passion, my friends, my identity, all at once. And to be honest, some of it was. Yet I carry those memories of people of my gymnastics career on my back. What pains me the most is that the more time passes, the less skill I have. Eventually, a simple handstand will be out of my range of motion. Do a backflip, people command. I could say yes, and maybe it is achievable, but it's the fear of, what if I can't anymore, that stops me. Fully letting go of my past and creating a version of myself that doesn't involve gymnastics is something I tend to avoid, as a habit of seeing it as my only achievement.
I may never be able to fully let go, and that's okay. However, I continue to make the effort to realize I have done so much since then, including getting into Suffield Academy in college, attempting new sports, and being a role model for the younger students. It's a process, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Why are we always expected to move on from experiences and people who have shaped who we are as a person? We shouldn't. Our past builds the foundation to the unimaginable future that lies ahead. Some of us may physically know what will be in the upcoming months, but mentally our futures lie in the realms of the unknown. So, appreciate the challenges and how much your character has blossomed because of them. Take the pain and drive it into passion for your future endeavors. You would not be here in this exact moment without conquering your past. I, Hannah Cody, am not the sport of gymnastics, but can have it to thank for who I am today. Thank you.
I am strong physically. I can carry boulders for days to come. I allow others to add as well. This is who I am. So how can I drop these rocks, even if it has been some time? It would seem like I was not determined or mentally tough, like I was not strong enough, maybe even weak. I continue to hold the boulders to the point that they blend into my everyday, my very being, they become a part of me, yet they continue to weigh me down. I forget that I once had to pick up each boulder, one by one, to get to the weight that I have today. I wonder why I would take on such a task. Why do I carry this load when moving forward without it would be so much easier? I think that I must show my character, but to whom? Others? Myself? But I also know that I believed in and relied on the rocks to show my strength. I felt stronger because I was growing my strength, but was I, or was I just slowing my growth? I start to drop the rocks. Each time I do, the pressure is relieved and replaced with a moment of doubt. The breath that comes when my hands are set free is strong, but short-lived. Because in the pit of my stomach, where this freeing breath came from, a nagging question takes its place. How long until I need to show my strength again? How long before I feel weak and need to carry the weight and the burdens? As I speak of my strength, I wonder, what does it really mean? The dictionary would say, the capacity of an object to withstand great force or pressure. It's funny to think that in our society we are told to be strong, though we often forget the depths of strength. When I let go of the weights, I realized there is no one way to be strong. I understand now that the hard steps of being vulnerable, staying consistent, and even saying no are misconstrued as weak, but shouldn't be. So consider the weights you've been holding. Ask yourself, are the pressures from your family, your friends, your society, are you holding the burdens for yourself or others? If you stop allowing others to project their expectations, their burdens, and their weights on you, then the opportunity for growth will present itself and allow you to thrive. Thank you.
My short skirt is not an invitation, a provocation, an indication that I want it, or give it, or that I hook. My short skirt is not begging for it. It does not want you to rip it off of me or pull it down. My short skirt is not a legal reason for raping me, although it has been before. It will not hold up in the new court. My short skirt, believe it or not, has nothing to do with you. My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my thighs, about allowing everything I see or pass or feel to live inside. My short skirt is not proof that I'm stupid, or undecided, or a malleable little girl. My short skirt is my defiance. I will not let you make me afraid. My short skirt is not showing off. This is who I am, before you made me cover it or tone it down. Get used to it. My short skirt is happiness. I can feel myself on the ground. I am here. I am hot. My short skirt is a liberation flag in the women's army. I declare these streets, any streets, my vagina's country. My short skirt is turquoise water with swimming colored fish. A summer festival in the starry dark. A bird calling. A train arriving in a foreign town. My short skirt is a wild spin, a full breath, a tango dip. My short skirt is initiation, appreciation, excitation, but mainly, my short skirt and everything under it is mine, mine, mine. Thank you.
During my second month of school in 2020, there were 500 people in the room for chapel, and I was having a conversation with the upperclassman. And he said something significant to me. He said something that has been making me think. He said something that changed how I focus on long-distance goals. He said, "Josh, I want to get into an Ivy League school, so I'll get awesome grades and I get an awesome SAT score." And over time, I watched Kevin as his drive and attention slowly diluted. Within weeks, he was back to the same rhythm with the same goals, yet lacked the focus on the steps to climb towards them. His lack of achievement made me question, what makes people diverge from that path they dream of? Why do we fall from that path? For we are all, across the board, really good at finding out what we want, yet why do we fall? The following spring after the exchange, I set a long-distance goal of my own within my sport of rowing. But having little to no rowing experience behind me, I undoubtedly glanced upon the international races where one can represent one's country with optimism. Nevertheless, through sacrifice and hard work, I was soon on a plane to Bulgaria to participate in the Junior World Rowing Championships in the summer of 2021. So why didn't I fall when Kevin did? Because the key idea was shouted to me every single practice by my coach. She told us to focus on the details of every stroke, not the pace we're rowing at, which to this day has provided me with the most important lesson I have gained from sports. That we fall because we focus too much on the goals we want and not enough on the details that will actually get us there. John Foster Dulles, the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the 1950s, said, "A man's accomplishments in life are the cumulative effect of his attention to details." So today I will give you the key to your long-distance goals. Find the resolution you desire. Clarify precisely what components go into this goal. Find out the exact details that will improve each of these components. And finally, focus all your energy and attention on the details. Finding one's dream can be hard at times, but it's imperative so we know what direction to go. You bring yourself closer to a dream through long-distance goals, which are only achieved through details. So now go out and pay attention to details.
Outlook notification from the health center. I open it up, and the only things I see are wash your hands and stomach bug. My heart drops and tears flood my eyes. The checklist starts. I need to clean the door to my room, I need to open all my windows, and I need to stay clear of any public spaces, even in my dorm. I need to use the least used stairs, and I need to wash my hands. I need to avoid everything that could possibly put me in contact with the stomach bug. But should I even go to sleep? I don't want to get sick in the middle of the night. Do I prepare in case? Yes. I will put my garbage can next to my bed just to be safe. But will I focus on it too much? Yes. But I'm not sure if it matters. Should I wear my retainer? No, because what if I throw up? Good idea. I'm in panic mode, and I cannot even begin to think about anything else but throwing up. Let me go wash my hands one more time. Okay, go to sleep. This is enough checking for one day. I made it through the night, but today might be the day. I feel bad, but I cannot stop. I just have to make it through the day. I have to walk into the dining hall and remember to wash my hands or get hand sanitizer before I touch my food. I just have to make it through the day. We all have habits, good and bad. For some people, habits are normal actions in the day that have no effect on what they continue to do. Some may be good for us, or some may hurt us in ways unimaginable. I have healthy habits like others, but they tend to become obsessive. My thoughts are consumed with what I should or should not do. Every day, I have triggers that set off blaring sirens in my brain, sending my whole body into panic mode. I freeze. I am scared. I want to shield myself from other people so I do not get sick. Obsessive-compulsive disorder rules my life. OCD rules every aspect of my life, but I continue to be unsure whether it has helped or hurt me more. It constantly makes me doubt what I know, and it insistently sets off sirens in my head. Once the spiraling starts, it is extremely difficult to stop. I made it through. I did not get the stomach bug. I couldn't be happier. I might have my life controlled by my brain, but that does not mean I am not the same person. OCD makes me stronger while dragging me down at the same time. At some point, we all need to learn from the voices in our heads. They might try to take control of us, but we can try to silence them, or we can choose to learn from them. In order to learn from them, we have to accept them and know that we are the ones in control. I know how to take control. Thank you.
Dear President Nixon, you know, Dick, in the waning hours of your administration, it seems appropriate to look back at your long years of public service and determine that as our president, you really bit the big one. And you know what? I voted for you. Yes, I gave you my vote, my sacred democratic trust. And you know what you did? You pissed all over it. Ah, what the hell, guys like you piss all over everything. You piss all over the country, you piss all over yourselves, you piss all over me. Yeah, I know, Sam, don't say it, you're my main man. Guys like you are the backbone of the nation. Have you seen the papers lately? Grandma lives in packing crate, sewage closes Jersey beaches, Saudi prince buys Howard Johnson's? What the hell's going on here, Dick? It wasn't supposed to be like this. It wasn't. But it is. And schmucks like you, you're telling us it isn't? Everything's fine, it's great, it's Miller time. What Miller time? The woods are burning, Dick. What can we do? We want to make things better. How? Let's hold an election. Great. The Democrat says they'll fix everything the Republicans screwed up. The Republican says they'll fix everything the Democrats screwed up. Who's telling us the truth? Someone's lying. Who? We read, we guess, we argue, but deep down, we know that we don't know. How can we? Oil embargoes, megatons, holes in the ozone? Who can understand this crap? We need to believe, to trust, like little kids, that someone wants what's best for us, that someone is looking out for us, that someone loves us. Do they? No. They lie to us. They lie about what's right. They lie about what's wrong. And then, where are we? Who do we believe? Who do we trust? And when we realize they're lying, really realize in our gut, then we get scared. Then we get terrified, like children walking in the dark. We don't know where we are. I had a bad dream. Mommy, Daddy, Sammy had a nightmare. And then Daddy comes and takes me in his arms and says, "It's okay, Sammy. Daddy's here. I love you, kid. Your mommy doesn't, but I do." And then Mommy comes and holds me tight and says, "I got you, Bubba. I'm here for you. Your daddy isn't, but I am." And then, where are we? Who do we believe? Who do we trust? What do we do? We do the only thing we can do. We kill the president. Thank you.
Tick-tock. Suffocating noise surrounded me. I could not breathe. I could not move. Invisible restraints pinned me to a frigid metal chair in the center of a claustrophobic room. Clocks infinitely lined the walls of this confined space. This tiny room had one scarlet door with a curved, shadowy black handle. The clocks simultaneously ticked in unison, like the climb of a roller coaster that never drops. You may ask where I was, but I cannot give you an answer. I had been to this wretched place before, but when? Why? I needed to stand up. Shutting my eyes, I filled my lungs with stagnant air and exhaled slowly, concentrating solely on the act of standing. An abrupt realization hit me. The only thing that kept me from standing was my belief that I couldn't. So, I summoned all of my courage and energy as I rose to my feet. Haltingly, I reached toward the sinister red door. Its malevolent black handle jutted out, pleading to be pulled. I grabbed the handle and slowly twisted, pulling until I felt the distinct clank of the latch. The door began to creep open. Suddenly, thunderous noise pierced the monotonous ticking. Then, everything went black. Blinding light shocked me into consciousness as luminous rays of sunlight flooded through my bedroom windows. I heard my alarm clock blaring on my nightstand. As I turned it off, I inhaled deeply to calm myself, but visions of grim clocks still haunted me. Chills raced on my spine as the image of the red door burst into my head. Then, I heard the familiar, poisonous sound of my nightmare. Gluing my eyes to the circular clock face on my nightstand, I was entranced by every precise movement of the sinister, scarlet second hand. Tick-tock. Time itself is a scary concept for everyone, no matter how young or old. We may fear the future, but when we are afraid, we cannot freeze at the prospect of the unknown. We should reminisce about our childhoods, but we must also look forward toward adulthood, knowing the future will be filled with both excitement and fear. We will feel the pressure of life closing in throughout high school, college, and our careers. But there will be a door that leads to the future. Don't be afraid to open it. Time is relentless. Inevitably, we all move forward with it. But we choose whether we move forward toward our nightmares or our dreams. Tick-tock. Thank you.